Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 411. It is Sunday, June 22nd, 2025, and it's 92 degrees outside. Yuck. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a super cute card for you tonight, and it's a fun fold. So I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. All right, so hold on. So hopefully everybody's able to stay cool. All right, here we go with that awkward turn. Okay, so I'm going to hold the camera and loosen it up a little bit and then swing it down. Okay. Tighten. Okay, I think we got it. I'm going to move this a little bit. Squish in. Okay, squish out a little bit. There we go. Get some light on the subject so we're not dealing with a bunch of shadows. All right, squishing in just a little bit more so there's more space to see. Okay, cool. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. I have a email address, penguinz@33.com, at outlook.com. So if you have any questions or anything about today's video, you can check that out. Hi, Laura, I see you. And my Facebook Stampin' for Joy page as well. All right, so tonight's cute card kind of came from the paper pumpkin, and I have to find out where it went. There we go. Okay, so last Thursday I did a paper pumpkin, and it is called Full of Charm, and I really loved the colors in this particular card. So that is where I got my inspiration. We are using every single one of those colors in that paper pumpkin kit. So we have Berry Burst, Terrific, Tiger, Timid Tiger, Basic Beige, Mossy Meadow, Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Pretty Peacock, and Early Espresso. Welcome, Laura. It's nice to see you again. So basically, I took those colors from that paper pumpkin, and I said to myself, what stamp set can you use all those colors in? And I came up with an idea. So we are using a couple things. We're using the terrific Toadstool stamp set. That is in the annual catalog on page 101. Then I have the Stylish Shapes, and that is on page 107 in the annual catalog. Then we are using the beautiful Bokeh Designer Series paper. It is in the annual catalog, and I forgot to write what page it's on. Oh well. Okay, so it's in the annual catalog, and we're going to play with that Berry Burst color. So I had to figure out ways to bring those colors to life. So I don't know if I should show you the card. Yeah, I'll show you the card. There you go. That's just part of it. Like I said, fun fold. So here we go. Normally I talk about a bunch of stuff, but let's talk about that bunch of stuff right now before I show everything else. So we have about a week to go for the Sweet sale. Now this is an online exclusive that is called Floral Impressions. It was released in May, and that is a part of the Sweet sale. That's just an idea. Then this is another one. This one's called Mixed Media Florals, and this one actually has 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets, and so this one is a great collection. Now what the Sweet sale means is that if you purchase a suite, you get to purchase another suite for half off, equal or lesser value. So you're going to be charged for the most, and then the lesser value is going to be half price. So this is a Botanical Textures Suite collection. Now this one has 2 different designer series paper, but it has a bundle in there, plus a folder, some embellishments, and some beautiful ribbon. Now those are just a sampling of what we have in the online exclusives. And so the Suite sale means that you can purchase a suite, or you can purchase products that belong in a suite. So if you really liked, say, the botanicals one, the Botanical Texture Suite collection. Say you love this suite, and then you decided to get another set of designer series paper, and then you decided to get another bundle. The designer series paper is going to be the half off. Okay, so it's whatever is the cheapest that will be half off. So if you wanted to get a bundle and then another bundle, go ahead and do that. But if you were to put designer series paper on that, then that bundle would be full price, that other bundle would be full price, and the designer series paper would be half off. So you really need to pay attention to your cart. Now, that, like I said, ends June 30th. So do not let that go when you have quite a few things on sale. Last Chance Products, that got updated, and new discounts have been either added or upend. So check those out. There are new products that got on that list, so get them before they are completely gone. Now, coming up, we have this virtual album retreat, and it is $250, and you get 2 12-page spreads. Now that is 24 sheets, 4 stamp sets, everything cut up for you. Now when you sign up for this event, it is July 16th, 17th, and 18th. It is from 2 to 10:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you purchase this, you will be entered into a Facebook page exclusively for this retreat. So the kit is $167,338. Now, if you think that $250 is a lot, remember that everything is cut up for you. The design has been done for you already, and it's being sent to your house. So you don't have to travel here and there. You don't have to place several different orders because you forgot something. Plus, with placing that order, you get $25 in your reward bank for your next order. So that is a great, great deal. Okay, so let's share with you just a couple things that are upcoming. Now, this one here is seasonal stamps start coming up, and this one here is a die that only cuts out parts so that it's elevated. The handmade Halloween ideas. Do you like Halloween? Those products will be, Halloween products will be in the online store this year. That way you have additional time. If you were to get the holiday mini catalog, that would be around September, and you would not really get a lot of chance to play with your holiday. So Halloween products. So Stampin' Up! Is putting them in the online store again this year to offer you more time to play with things. All right, so let's show you the card products that we're going to be using in today's card. Let's see here. All right, let me just take the drink. I have not been outside very much, but in this heat, you gotta stay hydrated. Okay, so we have a piece of basic white, and it is 2.5 by 3 1/4. So it's actually a piece of scrap, but I wanted to measure it so that you knew that measurement for it. Then we have a 2 3/4 square of basic white. We have Blackberry Bliss, which is a 3.5 by 3.5 circle. We have a piece of the Designer Series paper, and that is 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have a piece of basic white. Now, it is 8 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I scored it at 2 inches and at 5 inches. Okay, so this is going to can't do this right, like this. Okay, all right, and I'm going to take my bone folder and give that a nice crisp. So that is what it's going to look like. So that's 8 inches. Why are you whining at me? And 5 1/4. Scored at 4 and 2. Okay, so that's what that looks like. See if I can do that. There we go. Okay, and then we have a piece of Night of Navy, and that was also in the coloring for the paper pumpkin kit, but I went with Designer Series, or the cardstock that went with that. So this is actually our card base. Okay, so it is 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored it at 4 1/4. Okay, so I am going to give that a nice burnish, and I'm going to flip that over. And we're going to do this one more time. Okay, so that stays a little bit nicer that way. All right, so if you want to, I like to leave this here for just a moment, and then that way you can come back in and say, you know what, I really like Joy's card that she did the other day, so I'm gonna recreate it, but you know what, I don't have terrific Toadstools. I have a different stamp set, maybe even different Designer Series paper, or if you have everything, you can copy it exactly as is. I don't care, I'm easy. All right, guys, so like I said, I'm just gonna flip my camera just a little bit. That's all my ink pads. And so we have Berry Burst, Basic Beige, Timid Tiger, Mossy Meadow, Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Poppy Parade, and Early Espresso. All right, so that is what we're doing. So we take little bits of pieces from life and put that into the card. So you might go, I don't know, window shopping and notice that the clothing on something that you really like, the colors depicted by the mannequins in the window. And you might say, you know what, that would really make a cute card. So you remember, you know, the colors that you remember. You might look at furniture in a magazine and say, I really like the layout of this, and where the color tones are. So we get that. You might see somebody else's card on, say, a video, and you might like the way she has everything situated on the card. So that would be the layout. Now, somebody might be inspired by something that's in the catalog, but then you can take that idea and then flip that around. So if it was a vertical card, you might make it horizontal. And then that way, you're not directly copying. That's how I did it when I first started stamping. I would take ideas and then flip-flop them. So then that way I didn't feel like I was direct copying. But until you feel comfortable with that, go ahead, direct copy. Nobody cares. Everybody, you know, if you were to say, hey, Joy, I copied your card, I would actually feel flattered. And it's not anything of a brush, you know, a stroke of ego or anything like that. Because I like to give credit where credit's due. And if I see a layout, but I forget where it's at, but then, you know, I might not know that I got it from this demonstrator or that demonstrator, because it might be a while. So enough jibber-jabbering. Okay, so let's take all these things off. And like I said, tonight's card is actually pretty simple. But there might be, because I wanted to use all the colors that came in the paper pumpkin kit, I took it upon a challenge, to get them to work. And I did. Okay, so let's go with the thing that we're going to do right now. And we're going to put these off to the side. And we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. But first of all, we're going to add this Designer Series paper. And we're only going to put adhesive in the corners. I think I might have made this card a long time ago. You can also use yourself as an inspiration. If you like to make cards, okay, and you really like an idea that you, I do have an idea box. If I like somebody else's card layout, I might keep that idea and then, like I said, tweak it and make it my own. All right, so we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Now, I'm also thinking about going through my Facebook Lives and reimagining cards. And because I can't, I mean, I'm at 410. This is actually 411. So I probably went back into maybe 285 or give or take on, downloading them. I mean, downloading 400 and something, that's a lot. I'm going to actually just put a piece of Post-it note on here just so that it stays in place and doesn't move around too much. Okay. But anyways, I was thinking if I were to recreate things that I had already created on Facebook Lives, then number one, it's new to you. And maybe you did not know me at Facebook Live number 1, number 2, through 20 or even 200, or even through 100. And you know what? I've grown up a lot in my design skills, and you might, see something that, you haven't seen for a while, but then me recreating those cards. We're going to be using this piece. We're going to take this and put that in my back end. Okay, this is what I do with all my designer series paper. The front half is full sheets, and the back half is anything that I've cut into. Now also, I put the colors in black Sharpie. Number one, they're bigger, and number two, instead of trying to find this piece and then, you know, rereading it, it's in black right there until I rub it all off. Okay, so, and that's, like I said, the beautiful Bokeh, and that's on page 120 in the annual catalog. And so we're going to recreate, or we're going to keep this piece right here. Now let's go in and, wait, you know what? Actually not. My original thought was to keep that, but I did not. I changed my mind. I decided that I was going to put the beautiful Blackberry Bliss. And then this one, we're going to stamp on. So decided just to put those both in at the same time. There we go. And we're going to, now you could certainly reuse that blue piece, the Night of Navy. But I wanted to put the Blackberry Bliss in another spot, and putting that in here, I mean, just look at the colors pop. I mean, num, num, num. Okay. They're not being eaten. All right, so that is our circle. Now these are the stylish shapes, and they are in the annual catalog, and that is all we have to die cut today. Everything else is going to be stamping. Okay. So how you doing, Laura? Oh man, I forgot to change this. So that is very messy to me. Ooh, and that also reminds me that I need to make a plug for, number one, the virtual stampinevent.com. It is Sunday, July 13th. Yes, I said Sunday. Check that out at www.thevirtualstampinevent.com, and you can probably get more information about that and sign up and register pretty quick, because the 13th is not too far away. And save the date. The in-person date set for October 11th, which is a Saturday. Good to hear it, Laura. www.thestampinevent.com. This is going to be number 41. This will be number 42. So check those out. I need to get a piece of scratch paper. And all right, so I really like my Stampin' Pearson mat, but I like to protect it. So I use sheets of paper that have been printed. So yeah, baby, whoop whoop. Okay, cool. So I use something that I was going to throw away, but I recycle and put that on my Stampin' Pearson mat to protect it. Now, when it gets pretty dirty for me, and it messes my creativity, that's the reason why I like to keep my table neat and my Stampin' area neat, because it messes with my ability to create. Now, while I am creating, if it becomes kind of messy, that's okay. But when I start out, it hinders. It really hinders. Okay, so now we got this nice surface. So we're going to take our mossy meadow. Now, for those of you who are new to me, if you have struggling issues with opening up the ink pads, now this is the current foam pad, okay? So I actually like to open it backwards. I like to put my fingers right here and my thumb right here. So I push and pull at the same time. Now, normal people push up like a compact and flip it over, okay? Me, I like to go backwards and then push in. That always works for me. And if you have issues, I was noticing a piece of fuzzy there, try backwards. Okay, so this is Mossy Meadow, and we're just going to go tap, 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 and we're going to stamp right there on our circle, okay? And then this piece, we're going to do the same thing. Tap, tap, tap. And there we go. Now there's a little bit of white that showed, so I'm just going to kind of take my block, if there's any type of edging on there, and I missed, there we go. Now we're good. Okay, so we're going to clean that off in just a few minutes. All right. So that is our Mossy Meadow. And let's see here. Now we're going to do our stems. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the old version. Now this is not the really old version. I have a couple of those too. But this is the one where there's 3 dots. So you just push and kind of press down so it lifts up. And there is a fuzzy on there too. All right. And just wipe it on a blue shirt. Nobody will even know. Okay, so we're going to take our 4, let's see if you can see this better, our 4 stems and our early espresso, and we're going to create all right. So first of all, we're going to go over here, and this happens to be my favorite mushroom take. And we're going to do this 2 times. Okay, so that is that stem. And then we're going to go with the tour. That one has 3, this one has 2. You have fuzzies too? Yeah. I love fuzzies. And they all have names. Okay. And that one. All right. So there we go. Now this one is going to go kind of up here, okay, and we're gonna put that one, we're gonna put that one in the dishwasher. No. And that one goes down over here. Okay, so here's a little spot, and this is early espresso. This is a marker. I am just going to color that in. It was like really light on the shading. Okay, so then we are going to do the little guy on the middle. Okay, so now we're done with our all right, we're done with our early espresso for now, and we're going to actually just take a moment to clean our green grass. Squeak, squeak. This is our Simply Chamois, and now the Simply Chamois comes for 3 times larger than this. I cut mine into 4, and I find it easier for me to handle at stamp camps, Stampin' Events, so that each table has one. All right, so now before we lose our stuff, oh, why did that come off? Okay, so we're going to actually stamp our greeting, because I'm going to get too focused on the mushrooms, and that little tiny piece is bugging me. And we're going to stamp our greetings. So now this one here says, "You're magical." So somebody's going to win this card, and hopefully you have somebody that you could send this to. Now this is Cajun Craze, so the greeting on the front of the card is going to say "poppin' by to say hi," and then the inside is going to say "You're magical." So hopefully you have a friend that is magical. Okay, that turned out very nice. And then this one is going to say "You are magical." And that is going to go, I'm kind of putting it a little higher up, because I want to give you, whoever wins this card, space to write on. That way somebody doesn't feel like they are only allowed to, write in a 2-inch space. Okay, I also want to do this right now, because I don't want to forget. This is Basic Beige, and this is a finger dauber that I have used, and we are going to just finger daub and sponge some color on our circle, and just make it so it's not, oh man, that makes me mad. Okay, well then, I guess we're just gonna I think I might change some colors around, and then the color of the my finger moving things around will not be so bad, but that makes me grumpy, because I don't want to go and do all that again. So if it doesn't look good, I will just use my original card as the person who wins it, and this is just showing you how to put it together. All right. Then this here is the greeting for the outside. Now I want to put a tail here, and I like to use my Take Your Pick tool and my Glass Mat Studio, and I have a hole here that I can work towards, so I generally have a better luck with doing it this way than to snipping up the center, and then, because I always make it off sides, so like one side is bigger and then I have to sit there and mess with it, whereas that looks better to me, even though it's my perfectionism, Gosh darn it, what is getting all over everything? Is that... My fingers are not dirty. But anyways, I wanted to put the coloring on here too. So I had to have my banner on the edge, just so that it's not stark. Okay, so our greeting is done, and we're going to move the basic beige out of the way. Okay, so let's see. What color? Like I said, we're going to have to mess things up a little bit because some of the coloring there off the... So I'm thinking that the Blackberry Burst would be good, or no, I don't want to do that. Nope, we're going to do that. We're going to flip-flop on the same page. We're going to go with that, and all right, that one is going to be that one, and this one, nope, we're going to do that. Okay, I know I am dating myself when I think of this, but there's a cartoon that was called Hey Albert, I think it was. This hat reminds me of one of the kids that would wear that, that belonged into that cartoon. Okay, so you really can't tell that there's that fingerness, that's what I'm calling it, very much on that. Okay, so that I'm okay with that. Then on then we're going to do this one. Like I said, we have to finagle, and we're going to put this one on the inside like that. Okay, so that one's done, and our beautiful color for Pretty Peacock is now done. Okay, so our Timid Tiger, it's going to be we're going to do 1 and 2 Timid Tigers, and then we're going to do that right there and right there. Okay, and then we're going to close that up, and then our Berry Burst is going to what? What were you trying to say? Oh, well-loved pads? Yes. Very well-loved pads. Oh, that's funny. All right, and there we go. All right, so this one, Berry Burst, and we're going to go into the three side, okay? All right, got to try to keep the things that are clean to the ones that are dirty away in different spots. Okay, then we got one more. Oh, so we're going to close up the Berry Burst. And we're going to get that last, as I say, last pumpkin, last mushroom. All right. And that is going to go right there. Okay. Now we're going to move this out of the way because I tend to oversplatter sometimes, and I do not wish to have to restamp all this again. Okay. So, I don't like to keep the ink on my photopolymers unless I'm designing. But I do like to clean in between. When I don't have something down, I always clean them pretty good. Fingerless. Fingerness, yes? You know, a spell check sometimes, if you don't read before what you send, I don't know, a lady's cleaning product, started with the D, and I was going to send that to somebody that had no word needed to be that. And so, and to whom it was going to be sent to. So, I mean, I'm like, how in the world does spell check even think that that would be the possibility of where that word was going to go? All right. Okay, another, yes, very dangerous. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that my fingers are clean, just because I am taking the color, and let's see here. Where did my main part of my card go? There it is. Okay, so this piece right here, we're going to stick on with dimensionals, and I'm going to grab my people poker and line those dimensionals up. All right, and slightly at an angle stab and grab those backings. They may or may not stay on your people poker. If you have fingernails or somewhat, might be able to pick them up. All right, so now we're going to stick that in the center of our card, just like that. And then we're going to put our adhesive on the back side here. And we're going to lay that on here so that there is a nice border all the way around. And push down. Woohoo. Okay, so we are almost done. So you're going to close the front of your card, and you're only going to put adhesive where that circle is. Okay. Now then you're going to put your mushrooms right on there. And then we're going to put the greeting on the front. Where did our greeting go? Oh, way over there. How did that slide way over there? Okay, so then again, we're going to do the dimensionals. 1, a 2, a 3. Right there at a slight angle. Stab and grab, or have it stick to yourself. I could have poked me right there. I have yet to draw blood. That would not be a very good thing. All right, so we're going to put that right there. Okay, so what do we need? We need to color our rhinestones. Now, this is all the rhinestones I own. I have everything prepped for the event. And which card should I show? How about this one? We're going to do a flyby. This is the card that we're doing for one of them for the virtual event. And I told you it was a flyby. Okay, so we're going to take the dark night of navy, and we're going to use the nib tip, and we're going to put that. I kind of do it as a circle, and I try to do it, so I'm going to do it, I'm pretending. So you kind of wind it, and then you kind of, like you do a cupcake, you know, you start big around the edge, and then you wind your way to the smallest tip. That's how I do that. I do not use my brushes when it comes to the coloring of my gems, because I do not wish to have to buy them quite often. The way I really like to color my gems, and the reason why is because these rhinestones are sparkly, and they allow me to color them because I own every single color of blends there is. And I have, what do you say? I have an embellishment that goes with every single color of what I'm trying to do. So I try to use the embellishments that come in the colors, but I don't have anything in these colors. And now we're going to use Wink Estella. I'm going to bring this thing, my Stampin' Pearson mat, in again. And the reason why is because when you color with Wink Estella, you activate that ink, and then you bring it to the next one. So you have to stay within the lines, because otherwise you can color in, see there's a little bit of orange on there, and so try to stay within the lines. Okay, and then just swirl off the color, and then go back in. And like I said, you find inspiring things all around, everywhere. And I found the coloring for this stamp set through the paper pumpkin. Okay. So again, we're going to go in here and do the timid tiger. Now you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I didn't swirl off, I realized, but Berry Burst and Timid Tiger, you really, really need to do the virtual if you want to see a really cool color combination and how it makes a card. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You're not going to want to miss that, because we're going to use the cone flower and Berry Burst and Timid Tiger. I should do that card as a flyby, but I don't want to show all my cards. Heidi and I are each doing 4 cards, and you get the package mailed to you, and then we do a Zoom meeting, and it's going to be on Sunday the 13th, and if you can't make it, you could still watch the videos that we send after the event. And there's limited time to sign up because it's coming up really soon and we have to get the packets in the mail. So, all right. Let's do this one more time. Okay, where did I put my lid? There it is. Okay. So there's the, and the, oh, that's how it's supposed to go, Laura. All right, so this is the front of the card, okay? And then when you open it up, ta-da! You're magical. Okay, so my first card, I didn't have any mess ups, so I will send that one out. This one will be the one that goes out to the winners. The winner, I should say. So what do you think of the card? Isn't that fun? Okay, so if you want to get a chance to win this card, all you have to do is do a thumbs up or a heart. That will get your name entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment, that gets your name entered into the drawing. And if you share this on your timeline, your name gets entered 2 times. Now that's 4 easy ways to get into the drawing to win this card that I did not mess up on. So I want to say thank you very much. Now, today happens to be the 22nd of June. In 30 days, this Facebook Live will be deleted by Facebook on my page. But once I take pictures of this, put this on my Instagram, share it to my Facebook Stampin' for Joy page, then thank you, Laura, then I download it and put it on my YouTube page. So don't forget to go to my YouTube page, like and share. Then that way more people will get to know me and maybe they'll make it to the Facebook Lives. I do my Facebook Lives every Sunday after 5 o'clock. I may have missed a couple, but let's see. But once again, I should show that card that inspired me to use the colors that I did for this card. This is the paper pumpkin kit called Full of charm, and so I had to figure out how to use every single color in this kit, and I think I did an okay job. So, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put on this card. This card I'm going to keep because of the smear spots, but this one we need to put Winkostella on. I would hate for somebody to win this card and not get Winkostella on the front of it. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Yeah. So, share this video so that more people get a chance to get entered to win this card. And also it helps my name get out there. I'm a little fishy in a big pond, and I don't need to be a big fishy. All right, there we go. We're almost done. But like I said, whenever you use the Winkostella, you always want... Carolyn, hi, welcome. We're almost done. But you can certainly see the card that I made today was inspired by using the colors in the paper pumpkin called Full of Charm. So I used every single color that it listed, and I think I did a pretty good job demonstrating it. All right, so that is clean. Now this is my original card, and I made a smudge while demonstrating, so I will keep this one. But let me show you the fun fold. So you open it up and it pulls out like that. So Carolyn, you can go and watch the replay if you want to get the dimensionals, if you want to get the dimensions and recreate this card. But I think I did a pretty good job using all the colors that were in this paper pumpkin. All right, so everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I will be back on Thursday. I have that card already prepped and ready to go, which is something that is very unusual for me. Joy, you are a big fishy. Thank you, Laura. You are so sweet. What? We should do another flyby? Is that what you're saying? Alrighty. So Carolyn, what she's talking about is I am doing a virtual event with Heidi, and this is one of the cards. And so if you wish to join up for that virtual event, that was the flyby. And Laura already saw it once, so she wanted to share it again. So thank you very much. Go on to thevirtualstampinevent.com and get that registration. And you will be making 8 cards. Everything will be cut and sent to you. We will tell you what stamp sets we are using, and if you have them, that's great. If you do not, we are not allowed to send stamped images. So what we do is use a lot of dies and then allow you to put in your greetings. That way, if you don't have the same stamp set that we are using, you don't have to feel like that this one's not for you. So we try to include everybody, and hopefully we have a good turnout. So even though it's on a Sunday, yeah.